All right, good morning, everyone. Getting started just a couple minutes late, but my favorite saying this year, bear with me. I will be facilitating the meeting and running the presentations this morning. So this is the special events meeting for Wednesday, June 4th, 2024. My name is Kelly Frank. I am the Special Events Program Manager with the City of Boise Office of Community Engagement, sitting in for Maria Wieg, who is the Special Events Chair. Please remember that this is a live stream meeting, so mind your P's and Q's and speak directly into your microphone. So if we do have anybody online, they can hear us there. There's been many conversations, phone calls, emails, and everything leading up to these meetings with these organizers to work out the details for their event. This particular meeting is for them to do a final presentation and for us to hear the details as a group. So please just make sure that you state on the record what is required for your department and agency, if you've received it, if there is anything missing, and then we can work through those final details. There's no approvals or sign-offs during this meeting. Those will follow as the event date gets closer. And we do have a full agenda today. We'll go ahead and go around the room and do introductions, and then we'll get started. So we'll start with ACHD.
Tanya Motisi, Ada County Highway District, and I also have with me Andrea Myers from Ada County Highway District.
Hi, Ed Graves, Public Works.
Conrad McDaniel, Republic Services.
Vince Vergara, City of Boise Parking.
Connie Ward, Risk and Safety.
Abby Berg, Downtown Boise Association.
Joey Eccles, Boise Parks and Rec.
Heather Zeitlin, Community Accessibility Program Manager.
Jesse Tapper, Boise Fire Prevention.
Joe Deathman, Boise Fire Operations.
Cameron Coles, Boise Police Department.
Matt Komalenko, Boise Police.
Taylor Gomez, Boise Police.
Mallory Wilson, Office of Emergency Preparedness.
All right, and first up we have Mike Ench and friend with the 4th of July parade.
This is Lucas Ventura. He's
Hi,
part of the outdoor event group team.
Awesome.
He's also a big part of the tree fort team. All right. How's everybody doing today? We're back for the Idaho 4th of July parade. This is our 3rd year in this format, and we're focused on next year being the 250-year anniversary of the United States. So this year is the same as the last 2 years, and we'll roll through it. We also have the Veteran Entrepreneur Alliance Pancake Breakfast that happens I take care of the permitting for that as well. First, we want to say thank you to our lovely sponsors, Capital Educators, Peterson Chevrolet, Allquist, our media sponsors are CBS 2, KBOI, La Grande, and Fox 9. Our community sponsors are Visit Boise, the City of Boise, Thrive websites, Idaho Democratic Party, Idaho GOP, In the Bag Promotions, and Gravis Law. So this is something, our theme this year is Star Spangled Fourth. And this comes directly from our website, boisefourth.com. It says, come gather in Idaho's capital city to celebrate our nation's birth. The downtown Boise parade travels on Jefferson and Bannock streets in front of the state capitol. Our community comes together to celebrate our freedoms and the blessing it is to be an American. Judge parade entries will compete for prize money to support Idaho nonprofits. Area musicians can join. Well, that's not happening this year, sorry. Businesses, organizations, and families are all welcome to come gather and show that united we stand for a strong community, city, and nation. And part of the pancake breakfasts, you know, when we took this over, for years, the Kiwanis did their pancake breakfast. And when I got approached to help produce this parade, we reached out to the Kiwanis and they said they could not do it. So we found a new nonprofit, the Veterans Entrepreneur Alliance. Unfortunately, Isaac has his daughter's first birthday tomorrow, so he's busy getting that set, or else he'd be here. But they're a great nonprofit that's it's a nonprofit organization that supports veterans and their spouses in their entrepreneurial pursuits. The organization provides resources and support to help veterans start and grow successful businesses. VEA offers mentorship, networking opportunities, educational resources, and other relevant support to help veterans overcome the unique challenges of entrepreneurship. Additionally, VEA advocates for policies that promote veteran entrepreneurship and works to raise awareness about the contribution of veteran-owned businesses to the economy. Overall, the Veteran Entrepreneur Alliance aims to empower veterans to create and sustain a new path once their time in the military is done. So it's very worthy, and we love having them. Excuse me. This year's parade grand marshal is Mitzi Cheldelin. When I used to be the park event coordinator, Mitzi worked with the city. So we're very happy to have her as our grand marshal this year. She's a tireless advocate for Idaho's veteran community and the newly appointed director of Veterans Outreach and Community Support for the Idaho Division of Veterans Services. She's been selected as the grand marshal for the 2025 Boise 4th of July parade. And then, as the last couple years, our on-air talent, former Governor Butch Otter and First Lady Lori Otter will be on site as well to lead the live broadcast. This is our parade route, the standard parade route for this year. Bannock and Jefferson between 4th and 11th. Start and finish right there on 8th. CBS 2 will be posted up just to kind of the east of 8th Street on Jefferson. They'll start their live broadcast with Fox at 5 a.m. And then we'll get to the schedule shortly here. This is the Veteran Entrepreneur Alliance Pancake Breakfast. It's the same as the last couple years. We have our trash dumpsters on 6th Street there on the south side of 6th Street next to Jefferson. We'll have the porta potties set there too. We'll have 3+1, one accessible. And then we'll also have a porta potty at our check-in spot at the CBS 2 building. This is our order of events for the day. 5 to 7 a.m. live pre-parade coverage on CBS 2. 6 a.m. Cap Ed Read to Rise hot air balloon display. Depending on weather, we may not have a launch this year. It's still in discussion, but I will update you with if we're actually going to have a launch or if we're just going to display it and take it down. Live parade coverage on Fox 9 from 7 to 8. It's 7 a.m., the Veteran Entrepreneur Alliance Community Pancake Breakfast. This year, we are doing something new. We're doing the Zamzows Patriotic Peck Parade. We have opened up applications to this, but we've pretty much said to the community, come on down, show your pets. It's just going to start at 6th Street and walk west to 8th Street, and that's going to be it. And then, you know, I'm excited to see what pets people actually bring. We will have a waiver that people will sign if they want to participate, because we don't want to be subject to dog fights or snake fights or anything like that. 10 o'clock, we just got the confirmation this morning that we will have a couple A-10 flyovers, so that's exciting. The parade steps off right as the flyover begins and is broadcast live on CBS 2. And then we encourage everybody to go enjoy the City of Boise's firework parade, or fireworks that evening in Ann Morrison. These are our event service provider and vendor lists. Safety and security and crowd management's handled by MAV Event Services. Medical and first aid by MAV Injury Care. Traffic control is done by Idaho Event Specialists. For communications, we will use radios provided by MAV. That will be for the outdoor event group team. And then for our porta potties, we're using Porta Pros, and obviously we're using Republic for our dumpsters. And that's it. Short and sweet.
Awesome. Thank you. We're excited to have this back and just love that it's the third year again. So new traditions started. You've done a wonderful job and we love the pancake breakfast. We still would encourage the samples or cooking preparation, practicing here next year. Thank you. We'll go ahead and go around the room.
Hi, Mike. Great presentation.
Thank you.
I am just missing approved CUP from Taylor when she gets that over, payment and then review of your traffic control plan.
Okay.
And then we'll chat offline about your dumpster permits.
Okay.
So we're good to go. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. Nothing from me, so thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
Hey, does anyone know if that llama is still around? Anyone know about that? You might,
Llama.
a llama or emu, I don't know, could show up.
Oh, for the pet parade.
So, Tanya mentioned the ACHD permit, so yeah, I'll be looking for that. And then also, oh, your map for the dumpsters. I already talked to Vince about this. We'll move them up just a little bit because that one close to Bannock is ADA, so we don't want to put the dumpsters there. So we'll just move them up. And then finally, you requested 20 boxes and 20 recycle cans. I just want to remind you, make sure you have someone prepared to come get those from me.
That'll be me.
Okay, great. Well, I'll see you then.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike, thank you for the calls, emails, and communication with me. I totally appreciate it. We're set to go. We have everything we need. Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, Vince.
And Mike, we have your certificate of insurance, so we're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have Natasha with the health department online.
Okay.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Sorry, one moment.
Yeah. Nothing from me at this time. Thank you.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for the great presentation. I know we've talked about neighborhood notification plans, so just keep in touch and we'll get that paperwork from you closer to the event. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thank you.
Morning, Mike. Thanks for the presentation and the 4th of July fireworks plug in there. We'll continue to work with you as we get a little closer to the event, but you're all set for now. Thank you.
Thanks, Joey.
Thank you for the presentation. I sent you the accessibility requirements and you received them. Thank you.
Yes, I replied yesterday.
And Cameo with Ada County Paramedics is online. I don't know if she's beaming in as well, but
I am. Thank you, Mike. I think we're all good with the medical. If you could just send over the contract when you have it.
Yes.
Thank
For
you.
Thanks, Mike. I don't have any questions. Just make sure you get your Boise Fire special events permit in for the pancake feed. We're good to go.
Yes, sir.
No, I think we're good. If you just update your volunteers with the what 3 words and the other one that escapes me right now. It's been a long tour. Pulse Point, thank you. If update them with that, we're good to go, Mike. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Nothing for me. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. We're all good.
Thank you.
I just sent over your CUP, so you're all set.
Okay.
And I make nothing else from me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
all right. Well, thank you, Mike. You know where to find all of us to get everything solidified, and we look forward to getting those details dialed in for you and fun celebration on the 4th. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Mhm. All right. Next up, we'll have Carly May for the Boise Twilight Criterium.
Nope, now it is. Okay, good morning, everybody. Back with another Twilight Criterium. So we will jump right into it. Nothing is drastically different from the past couple of years. This is the 38th year of the Criterium. Mike, who isn't here this morning, has done all 38. This will be the 15th or 16th one that I have done. So we just kind of chug along with this. The course is staying the same. The start finish line's in front of the State House, and runs Jefferson to 6th Street, down Bannock to 9th Street and back again. We are a nonprofit organization, and if we were to ever make a penny, we would keep it. But so far, we just break even every year. We also bring in lots of other nonprofit partners throughout the day. One in particular that I'm excited to work with again this year is Girls on the Run. And if you want to, in your own time, watch last year's recap video, you are welcome to. Let's see, the Criterium for the last handful of years has been part of the American Criterium Cup that elevates the top 6 races in the nation. And we're very proud to be one of those that showcases Boise and Idaho at a national level and an international level with the teams that participate. And it brings in more of the pro fields. That's kind of one of the big accolades that you get as people travel here to participate when you're one of those top races. We're the 4th race in the series of 6 this year. And we're back in July after they said we'll never be in July again. We are back in July. It lasted 1 year, so that's okay. The course map is the same, so I kind of threw that up there from the past with this updated schedule from this year. The things that are highlighted in orange are kind of the just the internal pieces of when the different sections of our VIP tents and things open. But everything that's listed in black is the race times. We start in the morning with the kids ride, as we always have. The last couple of years, we've had between 500 and 550 kids ride with Kristen Armstrong. And so we don't expect that to change. And so that will be the first piece of the day. And then we move through the race day, getting increasingly more skilled athletes until we get to the pro races at the end of the day. The big piece is the opening ceremony that is slated for 5:45. This is all pending no wrecks that we have to pause the race times for. And then that moves us right into the pro women's and pro men's fields. The note in red at the bottom is we do close all of the crosswalks to general public crossing the street. We list the last 25 minutes so people know to expect it. Realistically, it's usually in the last 20-minute mark that just security, medical, and our race team can cross the street. And that's just because of the speed that the men race at. It's just not safe to dilly-dally across the street. So that's what that's for. And then we close with an award ceremony that takes very brief, that wraps up the day. I highlighted there are no real big changes. But just to kind of quickly run through them, we're keeping our same security team with MAV that runs both the alcohol enforcement, the in the park general attendee security, as well as the course marshaling on the corners for the athletes. We work with 2 different medical teams for this. St. Luke Sports Med specifically does the athlete medical. And then we have acute in the park for what is it? General attendee people, us who might need something, the Band-Aids of the world. We will have a couple of food trucks. We limit what we bring down food vendor wise because we want to encourage people to go to downtown businesses because it is a full day, and that's why we choose to hold this downtown. But we will have a handful of food trucks in the park, and then we do have our beer vendors and other beverage vendors that are spread around in the park as well. We don't have entertainment. We have the live race announcing that takes place all day. There is the live stream for the pro races that will be coming, but they are not bringing a giant trailer. It's a very small setup compared to what we've had in the past that travels with the ACC, but those will be the only races that are live streamed. Otherwise, it's just the live announcing that takes place. And then someone does sing the national anthem. We have worked with Vince to get all the parking secured for the full footprint and beyond for all of the parking needs that we have. And we start our setup in the park on the Friday before. And then we have everything cleaned up by midday on Sunday. From the beer and wine side, we have the expo where the majority of that takes place. And then we have the VIP tent that's right at the start finish line. That is the other place that people can get beverages if they have those credentials. We are working again with Hayden to provide all of that and looking to have during the pro races what we did last year, which was called the Locked Out Lounge for people that, as I mentioned, when we say you can't cross the street anymore to get into that expo, it does give you a place to watch the race. And we have a small selection of product that's available over there on the outside of the course in the parking lot there at 6th and Jefferson. We do a token system for this so that people have to regularly go back and check in through the security and the purchasing piece. And that is because it is hot. And so we don't want people buying millions of tokens and not being checked in with. So you can use those anywhere in the park. If any of the private tents that we have do hired bartenders, otherwise it's tip certified servers and that are volunteers, excuse me, that are at all of the tents in the expo. From a safety perspective, we do have MAV that is stationed in the park overnight and works with whoever's on staff from the state to kind of just keep eyes on the setup that we leave. We closed the street down very early Saturday morning for the stage to come in and to start our course setup with the barricades. Once we have the majority of that in place, the police department drops those larger barricades for us on the furthest out piece of the course for a vehicle safety component. After we've cleared all of the cars from inside the course, if there is any remaining, knock on wood, we don't have any again this year. As I mentioned, MAV is on the corner flagging and running the crosswalk for safety for who's attending. We try our hardest to monitor the pro athletes from riding on the course in the morning before we're ready. We have the ability to kick them out when we can. Usually if they make it a couple laps, we catch them by that point because we do have a policy that you can't ride on the course prior to the race starting. We bring in radios to work with our own event team, and then the medical team has their own channel on the radios, and then we have a couple people that monitor both channels to tell one or the other to click over if something is needed. And we use the announcing trailer to communicate anything major that we would need to tell anybody that's in attendance. Let's see, we'll work with the police department for whoever's on duty in the morning for any vehicles that we do have to remove from inside the course. As I mentioned, hopefully everybody follows our signs and we don't need to do that. And then we also are working like this year to geofence the area for scooters and we pull everything out. So anything that's motorized in gets removed before we start. Let's see, this is just a little more information about the kids ride specifically for the age groups that we do. All of the races, including the kids ride, are accessible races, but we don't allow parents on the course. We have volunteer cycling teams that are out there with the kids to keep things moving along. But from a celebrity standpoint, Kristen will be there signing autographs. As I mentioned, we'll work with Girls on the Run again this year, and just before the opening ceremonies, we will do a foot run on the course. That is a fundraiser for them, and it does have a payout like we do for the other pro races. Allison, who many of you know from her time in all of these events, she runs that over there. It's very smooth. It's also very fast. It's literally the 20 minutes that it shows on the screen to do that. The mayor ran last year and can say that it is much harder than you would think. But sign up if you're interested. Then we'll move into the opening ceremonies. That's when the bulk of the spectators are there as well, from that through the end of the day. And so we have a couple quick messages from some of our major partners like the city and our title sponsors. And then we just jump right into the racing. I guess I get a couple of questions every year about the timing of that. I'll just go back to that. The races for men's and women's pro are 70 minutes. We do a lap countdown, but it's not all, it's a timed thing. And then so the laps only are relevant as you get to the right to the end. So they know how much longer they're riding. Worked with ACHD to do a street sweep kind of right before that so that the road is as clear as it can be. Mike and a couple of other people from our side ride the course at the beginning of the month so that if there's anything major like a pothole that we hadn't noticed or something, there's time to have that fixed because obviously a smooth street is key to nobody crashing. I don't have a finalized vendor count for this year yet, but this is an example of how that's looked in the past. We position all of our vendors along the brick paths or the sidewalks, including where the bathrooms are located on all of that, just so that people can move easily through the park. I'll provide a updated one when we have it. When I have it, I should say. Neighborhood notifications. We hand deliver an updated sheet of flyer about the Twilight Criterium to every business that is on the footprint and have them sign off on that so they know that it's happening. With that, we encourage them to participate in the day or to be aware that they're closing because of what's taking place. But we want everybody to be open and use that time to engage with this event throughout the day. And generally businesses do. It's pretty well received. But I will send in that sheet once we've finished that. And then we work with all the property owners downtown, including those with parking garages or residents, so that the people that use those are familiar with when they can and when they can't come in and out the normal entrances and exits onto the street. And that is all.
Awesome. Thank you, Carly. The city loves this event and we love you as an event planner too. So you always do a wonderful job. Appreciate your time that you helped us with earlier this year with the new application, and the feedback that you gave was very helpful. So thank you for your patience through all of that. We'll go ahead and start with Tanya.
Carly, thanks for your presentation. I feel like I've been talking to you about this since January. I was like, what? Twilight
Because
again?
we have.
So I appreciate all of the correspondence ahead of time. I'll reach out to you for your COI and then your just pending traffic control review. So thank you.
Excuse me. Hey, Carly.
Hi.
Just making sure you're still renting like
Yep.
individual stuff. Okay. Thanks. Have fun.
Hi, Carly.
Hi.
Did you happen to see my email?
Sure
yes-
did.
Okay. Do you have a quick answer to that?
For what sizes we need?
Yeah, because last month you reached out for 8 yards and then the application came through and it looked like 40 yards.
It's whatever I did last year. I
Okay.
can look and send
Okay.
it to you, but it worked well last year, what we changed it to. So I want to keep the same.
Okay.
Who knows what I was thinking when I sent it to you, but that's what I mean.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that.
Carly, we're set to go. I need to review the map with you one more time so that we know where we're putting the signs up, but I should have signs and everything ready for you to do your magic on very soon, maybe even sometime this week. So if I do have them this week,
Sweet.
I'm going to turn them into you. Okay?
That would be great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hi, Carly. We have your certificate of insurance, so we're good to go. Thank you.
And Natasha, we think we got the audio corrected.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much. Carly, thanks so much for your presentation. We do have a notification of event from you. So if there will be any changes to a list of vendors or any other information, please let us know. Thank you.
Hi, Carly. Thanks for a great presentation. Neighborhood notification plan looks perfect. You are such a pro. I'll just keep an eye out for that paperwork. Thank you.
Morning, Carly. Thanks for the detailed presentation. We'll continue to work with you as we get those final vendor counts, but looking forward to your event this year. Thank you.
Good morning, Carly. Nice to
morning.
see you. You responded to all my questions. Thank you.
Cameo with Ada County Paramedics. Okay, she may have. Did she? Okay. I can't imagine that Cameo's busy. We'll go ahead and move on to fire.
Oh, thanks, Carly. Can you do me a favor when you go and apply for your fire department special events permit? Can you make sure you get specifications on your VIP tent
Yeah.
entered in that permit as well? That's all I have. Thanks.
Carly May, tell me about your medical plan.
What would you like to know about it?
ALS?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep. So we use the north piece of 8th Street between Jefferson and State, same where the fire truck is for access on that side, and then Capitol at Idaho for access on the south side.
Cool. And ALS component, I appreciate that. Let me know when you want to fill the tanks and we'll get that arranged.
Perfect.
Hi, Carly. Same as last year. If you need any help with permits, let me know. But I think we're just doing the same thing.
Great.
So thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. Morning.
Good morning.
We're good. I just have a couple questions, but I can get a hold of you offline, so nothing major.
Okay.
We're all set. Thank you.
Perfect.
My turn. Hi, yeah, I don't think that we have anything else, but obviously Rachel will communicate if we have something else that comes up. I think it looks pretty good.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right, Carly. Sorry, we had you come in right before Savor Idaho.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit bad
It's been a
yesterday.
couple of days.
But now you're done. You can enjoy that event and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, up next is the much anticipated return of Hi Aldi. We have Johnny Boyd and Ryan Boyd and a guest.
All right. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Here we are again, 10 years later. As Kelly mentioned, this is Ryan Boyd. He and I were part of the last event in 2015, and we have Mike Franzoya with us as well. He's the president of the Bass Center. He was just a wee young guy at the last ILD, so. And all of them. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, first thing we'd like to say is just thank you. We've had a lot of conversations already with meetings, discussions, emails, phone calls with everybody, and we really appreciate all the patience in trying to reimagine Hi Aldi again 10 years later with everything that's changed, both in the city and with safety requirements and people's expectations for a festival. So thank you so much for all the help you've given us so far. So what is Hi Aldi? For anyone wondering, it's typically a once every 5 year celebration. Obviously, didn't happen in 2020 due to the pandemic. But it's really a version of our annual festival that's just meant to be bigger and really have even more aspects of all the culture, heritage, tradition, whether that's through music, dance, sports, food, drink, and all that enjoyed in a festival atmosphere. So that's really our goal, is to bring the unique and amazing experience of being in a Bass Town's annual festival to Boise. And so with Hi Aldi, that's really even more so. And with that being said, it's a little bit longer event, much higher expected attendance. The number there, the 45,000 participants, that's our estimated individual participants over the entire festival. So that means both our events on the block, at Expo Idaho, at ICCU Arena. Whereas, just the Bass block attendance at any given time, we're expecting a maximum of about 4,500 people. But again, that number is based on past San Ignacio's and is a bit of a guess at this point, and hence some of the changes we've made to our plan so far. So first, what's different from our typical festival, San Ignacio? Length. So this festival goes Tuesday through Sunday rather than a Friday through a Sunday. More events and activities. We have events hosted at ICCU Arena downtown. We have events hosted at Expo Idaho on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And then the level of international participation is much greater. So, you know, a major engine of Hyaldi is getting international participation. So with that in mind, we have multiple bands that are coming. We have practitioners of rural sports. We're really excited to have the International Pelota Foundation's women's handball final event coming back again this year. That'll be hosted in the Frontone. And then additional musicians that play acoustically as well outside on the block. And then with that, obviously, as we mentioned, more attendees, which is at the top of our mind and really on every slide. So here's the schedule of events. It's a little bit small, a little bit hard to see, but what we're trying to do here is break down by day and time where things are happening, whether that's the Bass Block, ICCU, or Expo Idaho, what our anticipated hours are, and then associate that with a street closure, since obviously we have a little bit of a expanded street closure from our typical San Ignacio event. To, I guess, briefly describe that, we are planning on closing Grove Street all the way from 5th to Capitol Boulevard, and then 6th Street from Front to Main for the duration of the event. So that includes setup and takedown, with 6th Street and Grove Street from 5th to 6th reopening on Monday morning as soon as we can remove the last of our booth items from the street, and then leaving the Bass Block closed one more day just to give us a little more time to make sure everything is cleaned up. The street is power washed. There's hopefully no sign of a spilled calimocho or chorizo anywhere. And then having everything completely reopened by the morning on Tuesday, August 5th. So moving into the layout, this is what our current layout looks like in kind of a zoomed out format, so you can really see where the street closures are happening. In our safety and security meeting, we discussed this, and we have updated the plan to include the hostile vehicle mitigation barriers at those 4 main junctures, intersections at 5th and Grove, 6th and Main, Capitol and Grove, and then at that alleyway directly south of the Bass Center on 6th, moving toward Front Street. We also have an additional street closure included, and that's with a dance performance and mass on Sunday night. And we are hoping to hold that on 8th Street outside St. John's Cathedral. That would be just a brief closure from Hayes to Front Street for a couple hours. There's no real setup there. It's really just closing it off to make space for people to be able to watch the dance that occurs out in the street there before and after Mass. So anticipating that to be a pretty quick and easy changeover for that particular piece. So here's a bit more zoomed in version of our festival footprint. And again, going back to our safety and security meeting, we did update this with some of the requested changes. And so it's a little bit hard to see on this screen. If you have it right in front of you, it's a little more obvious, but this boundary of the festival that you see in kind of the red hash, part of it is basically made by the existing patio fencing and existing buildings on the traditional Bass Block. And then a piece of it is made with temporary fencing. If you move, toward 5th Street on Grove, and then down south toward the parking lot and the new park, where we will be renting fencing. And I know right now it looks a little bit forbidding, like it's some sort of iron gate, but we are adding in, you can kind of see those green rectangles. Those will be 4 to 8 foot openings in the fencing so that you have free pedestrian access through the festival. So the last thing we want to do is inhibit anybody from flowing into and out of this festival. And so we're trying very hard to keep those spots open and specifically stationing our hired security at those spots just to make sure that anybody who needs help accessing in and out has it, and there's no leaking of beverages outside the festival footprint. You may also notice if you saw a previous version of our footprint, we've expanded a little bit on the southeast portion in that parking lot between the new Kaisho Corner Park and the brick house that's along 5th Street. This was out of a concern for really just not having enough space for participants. One of the worst outcomes that we could imagine as planners and as the Bass Center board was that it would simply be too crowded, and we would run into an issue where it's just not an enjoyable experience for anybody, and or Boise Fire Department drives by and says, this is too much, and we don't think it's safe. So we have decided with discussions with the manager of that parking lot to include that in our footprint with the goal of just creating more space, creating more shaded space, especially anticipating hot temperatures, and adding options for more portable toilets, more food, and more drinks. And so the goal there is really just to split efforts we already had with volunteers between the booths in the freeform parking lot and the parking lot south of Grove Street. To that end, we have added additional security, and we've communicated this new plan to MAV, who is our security partner and is currently analyzing the impacts that they expect that to have plan. That expansion also, just to be clear, has no effect on our requested street closure timing or extents at all. And we think it shouldn't have any impact on hopefully fire safety or anything like that beyond there being food trucks in there. But we are not planning on, building anything massive in there beyond just having some regular sized booths and those food trucks. So here's that closure we mentioned on 8th Street. This would be accomplished by our traffic control and a safety provider, Specialty Construction Supply. And again, we're just looking for a cushion before the mass and the dance performance, which is at 5 p.m. And then having that completely cleaned up and out of the way by about 7:30 p.m. Communications. So we've gone through this in our safety and security meeting, and with some ongoing communications with our hired contractors as well. Two-way radios are going to be a must based on our footprint and having people outside, having people in the Bass Center across those 2 blocks. And we think it's going to be very helpful having MAP as both our security contractor and providing our emergency medical standby service as well. They're well versed in their plans and their sequence of how they manage events. We will be providing a contact list with all the names, phone numbers, and responsibilities. So to volunteer shift leaders and security shift leaders and other contractors, so that if anybody does have a problem, they will have both a hard copy and electronic version of a sheet that says, if there's a problem with a booth, this is the person you call about the booth, that sort of thing. We'll also be using cell phones in addition to the two-way radios. We have a tent outside on the Bass Block that will be our information security and a spot for lost, found children or vulnerable adults, and that will be denoted with a banner. And our security partner has a plan internally that they use to manage that during these type of events. And then we have our PA system, which will be used for emergency alerts. As we mentioned, event security by MAV, they're well versed with events on the block. And we've had multiple discussions with them about, the difference with this year's event. We mentioned security personnel at all the entry and exit points from local businesses that serve alcohol to prevent crossing of beverages. And another item that came out of our safety and security meeting was that we would provide a list of what beverages and what containers are being used for sales, both at the Bass Center Bar and at our beverage booths on the block, so that there's an easy identification between what's sold at businesses and what's sold as part of the festival. And to that end, we have a meeting on Friday with our distributor to start putting that together and get that communicated. Sidewalk opening points as well to control any flow of alcoholic beverages. We mentioned the additional security tent, and signage for first aid locations or general help will be at all the food and beverage booths. And I think we mentioned those other smaller bullet points that are a little hard to read there. We're also working on a kind of multilingual signage and color coding so that it's very clear where alcohol is allowed and where it is not, for especially people visiting from out of the country, and also people that are visiting and just not familiar with downtown Boise. This is an updated version of our security plan with considering our updated footprint, and this has been sent to MAV for their review, and they will be coming back to us with their updated proposal as well. But basically what we've done is add a few additional security at all of those peak times to make sure we have enough to manage the entry and exit points and to still have roaming security as well. For medical plan, we are lucky to have the help of St. Alphonsus volunteers. They will be at all times the event is open at the downtown location. They will have a team available. They are able to provide basic life support, CPR. They'll bring their own AED equipment as well. We will have a first aid station inside the Bass Center Dance Hall for them, and they will also be roaming the festival area just to make sure there's no issues, or if anybody needs some help outside. And then we will also have MAV Events emergency medical with ALS equipped ambulance, and that will be staffed by the licensed paramedic and EMT. That staffing will be during busiest times, and we have a proposal for those times into Cameo for review and the team. And I think we just need to dial in the exact times of when we're anticipating to need them on site. Radio communications again, and one nice thing about our more open footprint this year is we can push a lot of our booths and stages and things like that out of the main roads. So there's what we think is a much easier emergency vehicle clearance throughout the festival, both on Grove and 6th Street. This is the proposed version of having the additional emergency medical team on site. And again, we will work with Ada County paramedics and Boise Fire to confirm that is adequate based on their analysis of our application. Street closures, we kind of already went over this. We have a couple, different reopening times. And so we just wanted to be very clear, both with our application and everybody affected by that, and with our contractor when anticipated closures and reopenings are scheduled. I think we can skip ahead from that. And then trash recycling plan. There's a lot of text there. Same thing with a little bit of coordination on when the requested additional large containers arrive and when they're picked up. We'll certainly work with Republic Services to dial that in. But we did want to include this little table here that shows everything that's already on the Bass block as far as intermediate and large containers, what we're anticipating to be needed as additional, and then our total capacity. And we are planning on having dumpsters, extra dumpsters, recycling, and the existing dumpsters and recycling for the Bath Center picked up every day during the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then having those containers be large enough to bridge the Saturday, Sunday, hopefully. But we can speak a little bit more to that if that seems like a safe assumption. And then we will be requesting 25 additional intermediate trash and recycling bins each to complement what's already on the block. Restrooms and hand wash stations. So we're showing now 2 locations for portable restrooms. We think this will help a lot in avoiding building up huge lines and also, in the worst case scenario, overfilling porta potties to the point where they are not able to be used. So those will be in both of the parking lots, the Freeform parking lot and the parking lot south of Grove Street now, both with ADA accessible units as well. And with that, with the vendor plan, we are still in the process of selecting a couple of vendors. We're anticipating having, maybe 3 or so food trucks, at least from the Thursday through the Sunday in that parking lot, just to add an additional option and take a little bit of the stress off of both our food booth and off the restaurants on the Bass Block. And talking with our neighbors, a huge concern that they had was just it being completely overwhelming and there being lines of people trying to get into restaurants to get food, them already being way too busy to be able to serve who could fit in there anyway. And then, people generally wandering away from the event because it was a frustrating experience. So to that end, we're hoping that the addition of a couple food vendors and options outside in that parking lot will help this situation. And we are working the next couple weeks to solidify that plan so that we can submit it to Central District Health and as a addendum to our application. With that, we have a couple more views if we need to look at anything specific within our footprint that are just a little more zoomed in, but that kind of concludes our main presentation.
Wow, that's it, huh? Well, thank you guys. This is going to be the biggest event of the summer, of the year for the city, and we're so excited just to have the place to host it, people that on your team, the boards, everyone that's representing the city, and just helping us create a city for everyone. So the due diligence that you have done, the planning, the replanning, the former planning, the let's plan again, everything that's taken into consideration, as you guys know, because of the city being different in the last 10 years, but also we appreciate your guys' consistency in being involved, and just establishing the relationships, and then listening, to the community and making it successful. So we couldn't ask for better cooperation and relationships than we've had with your team throughout this. So the expanded, re-expanded footprint, was sent out earlier this week. As mentioned, there was most of us that got a chance to look at it, but if there's any conversations that need to happen after this meeting, we're happy to do that. Rachel is out of town. Mallory is sitting in with her so she can update Rachel when she gets back on the changes with Office of Emergency Preparedness, just to make sure there's nothing that we may have missed, but we'll definitely get that in front of her next week and let you guys know if there's any issues there. One question I did have, do you guys have any water fill stations?
I think that's something we've discussed based on what type of cups our distributor is going to provide.
Okay.
So that's on our list for our Friday meeting with our distributor.
Okay. I know that there's some available that we've had like at Pride and stuff in the parks, but let me know what you come up with if you need any help, maybe connecting to a resource.
Yeah,
Because I think that would be important too, just to try and get something down there for
Yeah, something that we were envisioning was similar to like Tree Fort where,
Okay,
you know,
yep.
near any of the other beverage.
Yeah.
plants, there's an option to.
Okay, perfect. All right, and we'll move on to ACHC.
Hi, guys. Thanks for your very thorough presentation. I need your traffic control plan. So as soon as Mason is done with that, if you could send it over for review, that'd be great. I also need your certificate of insurance and payment, but I'll reach out to you offline for those things.
Perfect. I know we have that in process with your information for the certificate, so.
Yeah, thank you again for your presentation. Very thorough, very excited about this. I just have a few clarifying questions, but I'm just going to email them to you. Perfect. So yeah, thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, what you have so far is a good base, but like you said, we still have some work to do between now and then to finalize all the details. So I did want to mention a couple things about the two dumpsters placement there near Capitol. Probably gonna ask you to angle those, so it's just easier to drive in and out of. And so as a result, it's gonna take up at least 3 parking spaces.
Okay.
Yeah. And then to get one in the parking lot, we're gonna need to make sure to get there when there's no other cars there, so we can get that third one over there on the east side. I have the boxes and cans at my office in West Boise, so you'll want to arrange to have someone come over and pick those up from us. Okay. And then also, you don't have to answer this right now, but I will want to know who will be responsible for scheduling the extra service on the existing dumpsters.
I think we'll do that through the foundation, through our existing account.
Okay. So I want to see those scheduled before I can sign off. But yes, looking forward to having more discussions with you. Thank you, guys.
John, we have a plan already in place for the meters that we need to block off according to the street closure time. So we're set to go for you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, I don't see your certificate of insurance for the city of Boise, so just get that as soon as you can. Still got some time, so yeah, I'll just look out for it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I apologize. Natasha, are you still online?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Johnny and Ryan, for your presentation. We do have your notification of event, and we will wait for the finalized list of vendors and go from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for your presentation. We are going to ask that you guys fill out neighborhood notification paperwork for this event. So I'll make sure that gets to you guys via email with some instructions on filling that out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, our plan is we're working with Annie Kavika at the museum to send out an email to everybody, and then we will separately schedule the individual.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good morning. Thanks for the presentation. We're looking forward to your event, and much like y'all, we're actually excited and eager for that Kaisho Corner to be completed. So I'll continue to work with y'all as the construction progresses and work with you a little bit closer to the event. But thank you guys for the presentation.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hi, I sent you the accessible event guide yesterday. So if you just review that and sign off and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great presentation, guys. Thank you. Remote apply for your Boise Fire special events permit. I don't think that's come across my desk yet. I like this layout. I just want to talk about a couple of things. The first being on Grove Street. So the barrier that you're going to put in front of that apartment complex right there, high life hazard right there for us. So we are concerned about that. There's a fire department connection there. The barrier's fine. Can you just make sure that it's not bolted together there so we can remove that barrier quickly if we need to, if we have an issue at the apartment complex?
Okay. Barrier, quick remove.
And then the vendor area there on Grove, is that a potential area for vendors, or are there going to be a lot of vendors right there?
It was intended as a potential area, but I believe after our latest discussion, there will not be additional vendors.
Right.
So that will be completely open right there? Oh, okay. Okay. If you change your mind and decide to have vendors there, can we put them on the south side of that street?
Sure. Yeah.
That way we can have better access to the apartment complex there.
Okay.
The food trucks, I think we talked about this before, make sure they all know this. They're supposed to have their fire department inspections. Any truck that cooks with grease laden vapors, they should have that. So if you want to send a reminder out to them, that would be great. And keep the food trucks 10 feet apart from each other when they're parking. I do want to have a quick offline discussion about your food tent one more time. But can you please leave room for us 10 to 12 feet on 6th Street for us to get around it?
Yes. That particular booth is kind of a placeholder. It's going to be shrunk in width slightly and pushed against the curb.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there should be 15 feet on the.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. And then in the parking lot, in the new expanded parking lot area, are there any tents in there?
Yes, so there will be one tent, that green rectangle in the middle,
Okay. How big is that tent?
20 by 20.
20 by 20? Okay. All right. Yeah, the other thing is just on 6th Street, it looks like it's nice and open, but just keep that open between Main and Grove. We'll need a lane there. So just be aware of that. But that's all I have. Looks good.
Thank you.
A couple different things. First of all, plan for day of events. If you guys could work with Rachel and Mallory on getting us point of contact for that, just because if we have any large scale event, we're going to want to get your point of contact, single point of contact, where we can get list of your volunteers and things like that. Should we need family re-notification or reunification, excuse me, or something like that. Second, as far as times go, would you guys forward me that stuff in your proposals for the downtown core? I think we're getting some confusion between Expo Idaho and what the times are and what the times for ALS coverage will be for downtown.
Okay.
So can you guys get that stuff to me? Second, your footprint is pretty large. Do you guys have a contingency plan for like a golf cart, or do you guys have any of that? Should somebody go down inside your footprint so we could either assist them to your first aid station or to the perimeter of the event, get them closer? Do you guys have a?
Yes, so MAV will be providing an electric cart.
Okay, perfect. I forgot. Yep. Pulse point, what 3 words? Get your volunteers with that. So they have those downloaded so they can assist should you have something and give you a better location. What else did I have for you? Yeah, if you just give me those proposed times, I think we can work with you on that. It'll probably coincide with road closures, it'd be my guess, just because the footprint is so large. But shoot those off to me, what your proposed times are for coverage for medical.
Thanks, guys. Footprint looks good. I appreciate you guys looking at the recommendations made on, color coding and some stuff like that. I think it'll be really helpful to try to manage both the festival and the restaurants. So thanks for doing that. Do you guys have, when you say outside vendors on here, is it all vendors that are providing stuff for the festival, or are they outside companies that are presenting their brands or whatever it might be at your event, or is it both?
It's purely for the festival. So yeah, the outside vendors would be really just the food trucks at this point.
Okay, cool. I think that's all I have for right now, and we'll just keep working on it as it gets closer.
Thanks.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Good morning. We're looking good. We're making some adjustments based upon the expanded footprint, but we'll be in touch repeatedly between now and the event. So, okay. Thank you.
Hello. For your new road closure request for 8th Street, I'm going to need a new CUP for that. I'm send you an email with the information.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for all the info. Kind of like Kelly said, we'll take a look at that updated footprint. We got that. So we'll review it and make sure that it's all coordinated with all of our safety and security partners. And then like Jonas said, having that daily one POC for the event days would be great. So in case we need to get in touch with folks, otherwise I think it looks pretty good. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Is the information, I know that presentation you just had is very detailed, that BC Detman was requesting, is that outlined with the 2 different locations?
Yeah, we are not outlining anything with Expo Idaho in this application, but the application itself, the attachment does have that schedule.
Okay,
the
perfect.
schedule in it.
I did get the presentation uploaded into the system, so everybody should have access to that. So is there anything else that we can do for you?
Nothing comes to mind.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. I'm not sure when we'll meet again, but I'm confident that we will at some point. So, but if you need anything, you know where to find us. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Mhm. All right, last but certainly not least. We have the 4th of July fireworks celebration. Yeah.
Starting to pass the floor.
You know, I said no, and I was like, I'm just kidding. Come sit up here. It'll be good. All these years, it's still really nerve-wracking to sit on this other side with you guys. So just so you guys know. It is. It's so funny. I woke up and was like, oh, here we go. On the other side. But now the co-pilot. Yes. Next year I'm gonna sit on that side. I'll ask you weird stuff. Joe,
Okay.
would you turn the sprinklers on?
All right. And I do apologize. We're running over on time. We don't have safety and security meeting today, but if anybody does need to step out, then we'll get you covered. Well, you guys all have Joey's phone number, so.
Right.
Speed dial.
Yep.
Yes, I love it. All right. Well, we're back. 4th of July all over again. I will make it short and sweet. Joey's here with me because he's going to be taking over this next year. I'm just kidding. I'll still be here to help you. We'll all still be here to help you. This is really rinse and repeat. So I know that this whole team loves that when we've done it. It means that we're doing things right. It's working for us. We've kind of worked through the kinks and we're just, I know. Yeah, the biggest change that's coming is that there's a new soundtrack for the music. So that's really, you know, the big hurrah, you guys. Same, it's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. We're going just as previous years. We'll be closing the park at sunrise again. It just helps us get everything in place, as you guys all know. We'll put a lot of no parking signs out on Wednesday. So thanks, Vince. We'll do that on the Dale parking. And we will also put some no parking signs up for dumpsters and items like that on Thursday. So just leading up till Friday. But Friday morning, sunrise, the park will be closed. This is just a general overview. You know, 6 p.m. we have vendors start. This is really like a 6 to 8 p.m. is when families start loading in and coming down. Fireworks shows at 10:15, again, weather permitting. Let's see, this is our nice map from community engagement. So if you have any questions on that, I'm happy to answer them. Traffic control, I will send that to you. You have it, awesome, along with our COI. This is similar to what we have done in past years. Next year, I should probably add, you should probably add Crescent Rim to this to make it easier, but Crescent Rim and then Americana Boulevard will be closed. This is just a picture of it. This is a copy of what goes out to Crescent Rim. We send this out 2 weeks in advance. 1 week in advance, we go up and kind of hit all the neighborhoods that maybe they didn't get it or they're new to a condo. And we just hand out some extra information for neighbors if they're having a party or whatever should be. This is also part of what they see. Abby, we can send this to you just so that if somebody asks and they're new to Boise and they're asking you information about it, we can give this to you so you can provide more information. Security, we're still going with Signal. We like them. They do a great job. We did 2 golf carts in the past. This year we're doing 4. We also made them as, what were they? 4-seater? 4-seaters.
I think they're out 37 regulars.
Great.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We have golf carts, so we can move people out if we need to, just to assist, to help people move around a little quicker. Our fire perimeter will be the same. And again, we shrunk this last year so that we could have more paved pathways so that people that have ADA accommodations can get around and they can get to great spaces in the park. We are going to do that again, so that will be wonderful. This is a view of it. It is giant. If you haven't been to this show, it's a lot of perimeter. Last person's, we are looking at using the fire safety trailer again. And so that's just a conversation with Rachel when she gets back of who will be staffing it. So it looks like right now it's our own fire department that will be doing it. And so we hope that works out for us and for everybody there. Let's see, ADA parking, largely it is over off of Ann Morrison Drive. That is the best. It has the most paved pathways. It's got great lighting. We'll also open up the Old Timers Shelter parking lot as overflow. It's not our first choice. It's really congested there. It's not super accessible for many reasons. And so we will just continue to push out on social media that our primary ADA parking is off Ann Morrison Drive. So this is our sweet in-house map. So this is the really important things, guys: toilets, dumpsters, trash boxes, and like why we're all here. Food and beverage vendors. Natasha, I think that you already got our notification, but if you didn't, here's our list and we'll send you over all the permits for it, or the list of all their licenses. And Jesse, the same for you. We send out like a reminder for make sure that you have your fire sticker, whatever color it is, so that will be sent out.
And they will be properly spaced too. 10 feet, yeah.
You could like make a perfect square for them and say park in this, and then they just show up and you're like, just wherever works. Fine. Turn my back 1 second. This is just, so our website is live. It just went live last week. So any kind of updates that come up, we post it throughout this time. It goes on our community calendar, all that great stuff. News release will be coming out again. So anyways, this is just safety and security stuff. So if you guys need any information that has gone through in the past, this is just like a highlight of what we talked about last week. So our big takeaways are just making sure that our fire contract is done for our medical, and sending over our COIs for you guys. Other than that, I'm ready for questions. Joey's ready for questions.
Thank you, Summer.
Yes.
It's great to have you here, and we couldn't ask for a better mentor for Joey.
Yes.
Is Joey going to be the on-site contact for the day?
We both will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, ACHD.
Summer, great presentation. Good to see your face. Joey, if we could get together on when you need those no parking signs and the plans for that, that'd be great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Summer. Nice to see you again. I can't remember if you selected yes, but just make sure and electronically distribute that vendor low waste guide to those vendors, but that's all I've got. Thank you.
Hey, you two. Hey, so the event boxes, can we leave them with you until Spirit of Boise? Will that work again?
Yes. I think that's fine.
Okay. Then the last
Are they
one.
new? Ish.
They will be new.
Yeah, then you can leave them with us. Yeah. that's
I've
good.
been saving a pallet, actually,
Okay,
telling people.
that's nice.
their
Otherwise, we'll
hands
bring them
off.
back to you. But, you know.
So, and then
We can
I
share.
will be out of town. So I need to get you a list of emergency contacts.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Or a dumpster timeline drop off.
Yes.
That would be nice.
But other than that, we're all good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Summer, we talked and we will block off that section of Dale like we did last year. I got your map, and so we'll set that up a couple of days before and we'll see how it all works out.
I like it.
Thank you.
Hi, Summer. I got the COI for Western Display Fireworks. Looks great. Are there any other vendors associated with the fireworks?
No, they're
It's
just the only one that you should get from.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we're good to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Natasha.
Thank you for your presentation, guys, and we'll just wait for your official vendor list. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Summer. Nice to see you. We don't require neighborhood notification paperwork since you're outside of the bid, but thanks for having a solid plan anyway. I appreciate it.
Joey,
Oh, great.
I don't have your fireworks display permit in, so if you could get that in, that'd be wonderful.
Okay.
No questions.
Medical plan. I assume you guys are working with Chief Freeman on this.
Yes.
Perfect. He'll be able to he'll be the one to be able to guarantee coverage and things like that.
Because I see her nodding, I'm going to, like,
Okay.
I see
Sounds good.
nods, yes. I
Right.
just like when you guys show up, it's
Uh-huh.
good. Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Thanks.
We're good. Thank you.
I have nothing.
So yes, we will start working on coordinating, getting the trailer down and that support. And then Chief Freeman did reach out yesterday to start seeing, hey, what's going on with this? So
Okay.
that's in the works to, I mean, the very beginning, early works, but it's happening.
That's great.
So, and then I think kind of looking to that last point per usual, I'm sure we'll have the depot.
Yep, I booked that for you guys. Yeah, the day before, if you want to
usually
set
you
up.
Set up
then-
and run through the day before, since we use it for both the parade and 4th of July, so.
Perfect. Yeah, no, those ones are there. I just realized those are like our notes, just. in the
It was a good reminder for me.
Perfect. And then also the Greenbelt Patrol, that volunteer group, they come and do, so while they drop the fire safety house, and that's where you guys will be for like medical, they also come there and volunteer for like lost persons, and any kind of help like that. So you have a little combination.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We'll overlap and help and. Well,
All
thanks.
right. Well, one thing that is working sufficiently in Acela is the notification of event to the health department, and your vendor list did go to them as well. So
perfect. I
any
was wondering-
changes, you're on your own, but
Okay. I wanted to send everybody, I was like, no, I'm gonna send it just like that.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
in the system too. So, all right. Anything else?
No. this is good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you
Roscoe, if
guys.
you have questions.
Just a reminder for a few events this weekend. There's a lot going on, but as far as special events go, West Bench Farmers Market starts tomorrow evening. And the YMCA Treasure Valley Try is on Saturday. And the St. Luke's Kid for a Night is Friday evening. Let's see, we don't have special events next week, so we'll see everyone either for safety and security next week or special events the following week. All right. Oh, and Savor, Idaho. All right. Yeah, thanks. We're adjourned.